Speaking of nude, Lee, welcome to the podcast.
I don't want to scare anyone.
That's all right. I just put a big picture of Lee up, and everyone's scared now. So
I'm flying to Rome Monday afternoon. Ideally, this shouldn't be me. I'm gonna go protest in the morning and go fly to Rome Monday afternoon. This isn't what I want to wake up for.
And you're protesting Torreira not going to Milan?
That's another bollocks rumor. Just because he's unhappy with the English.
Yeah, no, let's not go down that path because Lee. Yeah. I want Lee to get in a word. Lee, you joined us. How was your day?
How you doing, guys? All right.
Have you had your chicken?
No, I haven't had. I've been up there London on the afternoon tea on the Thames. Very nice, like.
Look at you.
How the bourgeois live.
I have never seen a guy go from one thing all the way to posh in a span of 1 year the way that Lee has. So just an absolutely.
Putting it on for a couple of hours.
It's a rags to riches story. The Lee Judge's story. I want the option on the movie, but Lee, you've missed just about all of the podcast with the exception of some user questions, which I want to get in. So we've got about 10 minutes left. Unfortunately, we'll have to get your opinion on the Kroenke and financial issue. I did even some spreadsheets and some cool stuff earlier that would probably put everyone to sleep. We've got one person left watching. But in any case, some user questions if we can, and then we'll let our audience get back to the rest of what they're doing for today. From Mike in Virginia. Always love this guy's questions. They're the best. If you could go back in time, Lee, and change just one thing that happened in Arsenal season, explain to me why you wouldn't just be better off using that power of time travel to go back and fuck Marilyn Monroe instead.
Oh, I definitely have done that. You know what I mean? So,
we all love Arsenal here, the Arsenal. But I mean,
would
that be what you did with your time travel?
What on this season? Change something from this season?
Yeah, it was just it was a stupid question to So
they're always stupid questions of you. You know what I mean?
Stupid question. What isn't stupid is Mike Hernandez donating $9.99 for.
Do you know what? Just thinking about what I'd change now. I'd change it if I could go back to time. I would like to. Go back to the game against Crystal Palace and Emery changed his team lineup from that day.
The one that we went to?
No, the one when we lost 3-2 at home. Just changed it because I still think that game, if we'd have won that game, we'd have got Champions League and maybe looking at different players. You know what I mean? So
that was the one that got away.
There's lots of there was lots of them. You know what I mean? You can go to certain games, you know what I mean? I'd like to go back to Aubameyang's missed penalty and say that put it the other way, but that would be. I still think that things, for me, the icing on the cake, or not the icing on the cake, was the day that they're now winning the coffin that we weren't getting Champions League football. That was that home game against Crystal Palace. Forget everything else. If we'd have won that game, I think we'd have gone on.
Absolutely, and again, just I want to thank Mike for Mike has been incredibly generous both through direct donations and his.
So he's allowed to ask a stupid question, then is that what you're saying?
Well, no, he's given $9.99 for your appearance fee.
Well, all right, then. I'll call off Mike.
Here's the breakdown. Mike is fantastic. I've met him and we'll be seeing him again this summer. $10. YouTube gets 40% of that. Lee gets 58% of that, and Gooners versus Cancer will get 2 cents. No, 20 cents.
If we could just raise 1,999 more pounds, we have covered Lee's fee for this pod.
Lee, is this what you're doing? I need to talk to you, mate.
It's about donations, bro. Donations.
The Americans love the accent, Turkish. They love the accent.
Is that what it is? They have to come on more then.
Yeah, we got. You like talking to Randy, don't you?
Look at Andy's face here because he's half English. Look at him, look, because he hasn't got the accent.
I'm 100% English, Lee.
I'm sorry. Did I hit a nerve?
Yeah, little one.
All right, next question. We'll do this one for Turkish. From Dro the Gooner, who I've seen in the chat. I'm not sure if he's still in there, but thanks for joining us. What signing or type of signing would make you believe that the club is headed in the right direction? I don't know. I mean, you can give players as example if you want, but what would be, and to expand on our question before, something that you see happen? Let's say you protest Monday, you go to Rome Tuesday or Monday afternoon, and a week and a half later, we announce somebody. De Ligt's already off the market. And
there's 4 players.
At what point do you say, okay, now I'm willing to wait and see this out? And you can't use the hindsight of seeing, how did it end up? What was the finish? Because, your feelings are based on actions, not the ability to look back on a year and say, oh, those decisions were right or wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Ideally, one signing that will make me think things are changing. I've got 3 or 4 players in mind, but 2 would be the wingers. Cengiz Ünder at Roma or Nicolas Pepe at Lille. Now, I know Nicolas Pepe is linked to some Champions League club, so that might not seem realistic. But Cengiz Ünder at Roma just sold Salah for 35 mil 3 years ago. You can get a Cengiz Ünder who hasn't performed to the level Salah has, but is a very good winger with great potential who's going to have massive sell-on value in 3 years. You can get him this summer.
You and Mems would purchase the entire stadium if they signed that guy, wouldn't you?
Listen. That's we can talk about Ozu is Turkish, but that guy is really Turkish.
It's Turkish AF.
But that Nicolas Pepe would be another one, or them 2 centre backs at RB Leipzig, Ibrahima Konate or Upamecano. One of them 2. Them 4 would be a step in the right direction, and they're all realistic to me. They are all realistic this summer, but it's not going to happen.
All right. I have been sending out feelers, which sounds really disgusting, but I've been sending them out to try to get some ideas of things that can be donated, and we've gotten some that'll be raffled off for or auctioned off for Gooners versus Cancer. And for some people who may not necessarily have something tangible to provide, I've been getting some ideas on things that can be done. Andy and I will probably just be completely embarrassing ourselves over the course of the next few weeks for a good cause to raise money for charity. But we got a recommendation in the chat box from Matt Walker, which says, how much, wait, I want to make sure I read it correctly. How much for Lee to read excerpts from 50 Shades of Grey?
Ooh.
Lee, I'm not going to ask you for a penny, but I'm going to ask you for maybe a couple hours of your time over the next couple of months, because I think we could just basically say, give us what you want Lee to talk about and try to pronounce, and we'll do it, and we'll make, we'll release it based on certain bids. If you would be so kind.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
That's a great idea. I'm marking that one down. Because there's if you know who Gilbert Gottfried is, there's like a famous tape of him reading 50 Shades of Grey, and it's like if you know Gilbert Gottfried's voice, I'm not going to try to do it. It's the funniest thing I've ever heard, and I think it might actually be eclipsed by Lee doing that. So thank you, Matt, for that idea.
I was going to say, if you haven't had a personal video or audio message of Lee calling you a wanker.
Oh my God!
It is.
Yeah, we got them for free, but I'm going to try to turn that into.
I can do them as well. I do them So
I'll give
personalized abusive message. There you go, So
just put together a paragraph with every Eastern European and Turkish footballer that you can think of, and then just have them pronounce them, and then end with anything. And I mean, we're gonna smash through $25,000 of charity this year. So great idea, Matt. I'm marking that one down. Next question is.
Can I just answer that question? What Turkish has done about signings?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll send it around.
Wilfried Zaha, that would do it for me.
Really,
That would do it for me, because I'll tell you what it does it for me. It tells them we can go to a club not as big as us and take their best player. That's 1. 2.
Second best player.
Well, second best player. I think Man United probably got there first.
Yeah.
But then also, what it's sending out is a message that we're gonna get players that are Premiership ready, and I think that's the case. I do believe that we need some younger players to build up there, but we need to bring in some Premiership players that are already know what the game is, so they can be up and running. And I think that's important this season, because I think last season we skinflinted and tried to do what we tried to do with certain players to get us to the Champions League. It didn't work. Now it's time to go big with a couple of Premiership stars.
Yeah, and I have been railing on that all summer. I all these fancy names, Titty, this guys that play for Leipzig. I mean, I would love that, but I'd much rather see a guy who, you know, has played in the Premier League for a couple of years. I mean, there are 23 to 26-year-old defenders who have played 2+ years in the Premier League that would suit us just fine. They're not 18-year-olds for the future, and they're not, you know, they may be more expensive than their talent warrants because of the English premium or the Premier League premium. But fuck it, that's where we need to spend the money. And I don't care if it's Dunk or
yeah, I was gonna say, if we bring in Dunk, Tierney, and Frazier, we're a better team tomorrow than we were yesterday.
Yeah, we are.
And that gives us Premier League experience. It fits in our budget. They're not going to demand high wages, and then it gives us some depth. It makes us a better team than we were.
And then get rid of Mickey and Mustafi and fucking sort something else out in the squad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly right, Turkish. Get rid of those underperforming stars that have let us down over the last couple of years. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I ain't got no problem with any player being sold. Not any player from this current squad that played in that Europa League final and wilted. I haven't got no bugbear if any of them go. That's Torreira, Aubameyang, Lacazette, any of them. I've got no feelings to them whatsoever. But if Mustafi and Mkhitaryan were to go, then that's a start to bring in someone like Zaha. If you can say to me today, we can get rid of them two and we can get Zaha, I would be running up to the Emirates, pushing past Turkish and buying my Arsenal shirts on Monday. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I would be doing.
When you push past him, just make sure you don't touch the wrong part of his naked body.
That's what I would do, because it would send a proper message to this to the fan. You know, I still believe this. You know, I mean, I know we've got into it, but like Arsenal could have sent a message to the fans early doors what they was prepared to do, and basically have done nothing. You know what I mean? Like, and that is a big worry. And I agree. If I was a chairman or an owner that was passionate like from Arsenal, I'd be going to these guys now, flying over from wherever I am, going, what is going on? Where's all these? We've got to get the things done. You know, I get the fact that we may be waiting for someone to move, so that makes it happen. But when are Arsenal going to make something happen, guys? When are they going to make something happen? And that is the key. I want to see like Manchester, you know, Aaron, who plays for Crystal Palace, I can't say it. Wan-Bissaka, like, I mean, Wan-Bissaka, Two-Bissaka, whatever his name is, like, yeah. Right. Did Crystal Palace want to sell him? No, but he's been forced. You know what I mean? The players forced it because he's obviously gone there. But Manchester United have put the money in. Europa League club, by the way, Manchester United this season. Yes. Bosh, done it. Got their man. You know what I mean? I want to see Arsenal do that. That's what we moved to the Emirates for, and we're still not doing it.
I agree with you. We have never done that. We
have always been reactive, not proactive.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's what I want to see. I want to see that. That's the message that I want to see from Arsenal.
All right, beautiful. We got about time for one more question, and I got to make it from David Ziegler, who puts in some outstanding questions every week. He sent about 15 more this week, and we're just gonna do a mailbag of David Ziegler questions because generally only 10% of them are about Arsenal or football. The other 90% are. So we'll do a mailbag, but the one that I want to get into, it's actually a two-part question, and then we're going to end this. If you were on a pub quiz team, what 3 Arsenal players would you want, current players, on the other team? Either of you want to? Do you want me to go with mine first?
Would I want on the other team?
What Arsenal players would you want to be going against in a pub quiz competition? So this would not be a compliment to them. I can start if you want. I'm going to go with the first one is Kolasinac because it's that old Incredible Hulk thing where you just assume that he's maybe not too brushed up on the old trivia.
Speak a couple of languages, I might.
Yeah, I mean, well, and I'm a huge fan. I own a pair of his game worn or practice worn shorts, which smell fantastic. But that's a whole nother story. I also own a pair. I also own a pair of Lees. So I mean, it's Lee Judges, that is. The second one would be Ozil, because I think it would be 90% chance he wouldn't show up. And so I wouldn't have to worry about him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then the
I
third
like that one.
Yeah, the third, I thought you might. The third one would be Bernd Leno, because basically if things get rough with the game, I could just stare at his new fiance all night, because my goodness, Malone. I love that picture. But all right, so 3 players. Which one of you wants to take it? Only one of you have to go. If you can do it together if you want.
I'm going for the younger players. You're not going to know much.
It's actually funny. I just realized I didn't even think of this when the question was asked. The last time Arsenal came to the States, and Becca's in the audience, she can attest to this. They did this. They did a trivia game where 3 of the players were on each team, and then they had 3 American supporters on each team. I was lucky enough to be one of those supporters. So on the other team was a brand new signed Granit Xhaka, who didn't speak a word of English yet, Kieran Gibbs and Hector Bellerin. And then on our team, it was Gideon Zalem, of course, because he was the American on the team at the time.
Yeah.
Callum Chambers, maybe, and Chambo, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain.
All the young ones.
Yeah, we got the young ones. Chambo absolutely just fucked it for us. He didn't know anything, and we lost.
They're not interested.
We lost. I was pissed off, and so actually, I should just name those 3 guys. But it was a pretty cool experience. But yeah, so you're going with the young guys. Any specific people, or
Guendouzi's not going to know much.
he just run around hugging people?
Yeah, he's not going to know much. Rob Holding's a young one that might know a bit, though. He seems like a smart guy to me, but who else we got that's even young? Bellerin doesn't know much, unless it's fashion-based questions.
Fashion-based questions. I don't know. I see him as being a bit of a renaissance man. Yeah. Lee, who are you picking for the other team? And then the second half of this question.
I'll tell you what I'm thinking. I'm going down the lines of Aubameyang. He can go on that side because, he's been sold a dream at Arsenal and he believed it. So he's galloping with anybody. So he can be one. So I'm thinking down those sort of lines, that someone that believes that that things are going to happen at Arsenal and that, so he could fog him off. Socrates, you know what I mean?
I don't know. Socrates sounds like he'd be kind of like a philosopher type. I don't know why.
He done a question answer with Mavropoulos once, and he was useless. You know what I mean?
Dollar signs in this charity
I'm going Socrates.
All right, Socrates and Aubameyang.
I don't want to upset Kelechi if he's listening, but I'm thinking of Wobie as well. Like, so.
That's it, Leo done. That's it.
He'd stay at the pub until 3 a.m.
Yeah, he'd be on those silly little canisters when he at a party. So yeah, and he'd give all the right information, wouldn't he? It's like when he's going towards the box, he'd give out all the right answers and then give you the complete wrong answer, wouldn't he? So, yeah, a Wobie for me. There's my 3.
Okay, perfect. All right, and the second part of the question and the very end of it, thanks, Sebi, for showing up at the very end. The second part is, if you were on a pub quiz team, what 3 Arsenal podcasters, YouTubers, or other whatevers would you want on the other team? Present company excluded, so you can't.
Chloe's got to go straight on the other team, right? Guaranteed, miserable sod. He's straight over.
I wouldn't be worried about him in a trivia contest.
Well, straight away, it's got. Do you know what? I reckon Ty would be quite knowledgeable about the Arsenal.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't about Arsenal. It's just a general pub quiz.
Claude would know a lot about the Arsenal, if I'll be honest. He would know, and he does know a lot about the Arsenal. But do you know what I mean? If you spilt your beer with Moan, if you've got a question wrong in Moan, you know what I mean? I don't know.
I feel the need to say again, this is not Arsenal trivia we're talking about. This is pub quiz, just general speaking. But your opponents are Arsenal bloggers or podcasters.
Mike.
Yeah.
I've got to go now,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, is that right if I just log out, yeah?
Yeah, go ahead. Turkish, where can we find you on Twitter?
Turkish LDN on Instagram, Twitter, and Turkish London TV on YouTube.
Awesome. Thank you.
I appreciate the invite and all that, guys.
Hey,
Turkish, have a nice holiday, yeah? I'll talk to you when you come back, yeah?
Nice one. Yeah, we'll go for a drink.
See you, boys.
No worries.
Nice one.
Yeah, we'll
Mate.
do it
Anytime
sometime
you want me
soon.
on, let me know.
All right, man. So Turkish is logging out. We're just finishing up our last question, which is, if you were on a pub quiz team, what 3 Arsenal podcasters, YouTubers, or whatever's would you want on the other team?
I think I'm going to have to go Andy because he don't like me, I don't like him, and I don't think he's that good anyway. So he'd be
You're talking
straight
about,
over.
I haven't heard Gixer's podcast.
Yeah, we haven't heard that one.
Dick.
It says present company excluded,
Oh,
so
does
you
it?
can't use
Oh,
Andy.
right.
So you've put Claude on the other team.
I put Claude on the other team.
Oh, I love that guy.
That's really hard, like, I mean, like, I don't think, I'm going to be
The other
honest,
team would just be Claude.
I don't think Troops knows too much about life.
Life.
Not life. I was waiting to see where you went with
He
that.
just goes through it. Casually.
All right. No, I can't
He
say
can
I
go
just-
on the other side.
And your third member.
It's got to be Was as well, like, because he's.
Oh, I didn't even think
it was. I'll tell you what, like, I mean, he'd be doing you nothing about Emery, so he's gone on the other side as well, like, you know what I mean? So there's my 3, like,
God, that's fantastic. I didn't even think of that one. Andy, I'll give you a second to think about it. My 3, first one would be Frimpong, and it has nothing to do with intelligence. I don't know the guy very well, if at all. I have no reason to think the guy isn't brilliant, and I find him hilarious. It's just that anytime he buzzes in for an answer, he would just start screaming, and the TV would be shaking, and it would be like, or the cell phone would be shaking, and he'd probably just get disqualified. So he would be one. Second, I'm also going to go with Troops. And again, it's not about his intelligence, like you said.
No.
It's about his attitude towards the trivia contest. I mean, I could just see him like on his 5th spliff, just buzzing in. Every time the question's asked, he'll buzz in, and then he'll be like, "I don't give a fuck, you side man." So yeah, I would pick him. And then the third one, it is about intelligence. Yeah, I mean, the guy would like answer every question about 19th century art and geography by explaining how positive he already is. How many subscribers and views he has, how mentally stronger he is than other people, and those things don't help you in pub trivia, So that would be my third. Andy, who's your third?
Who is the third?
I don't know.
You read between the lines, Lee.
Oh God, blimey! Not again, like that. I mean,
Yeah, Mike needs to. I
didn't say anything. You have no idea who I'm talking about. I'm being very cryptic.
First and foremost, I'd like to say England women are up already 1-0, 2 minutes into the match. Excellent. Okay. Second, Lee, judges, I love you. I don't know why you think anything different. So here's my pub trivia team. Waz' absolute best shot of the night.
I can't believe we think of that.
Kid's a cunt. Second one I'm going to pick is Tom Canton, because every question he's going to answer somehow Spanish, and it's just going to be how great Spain is. So we're going to put him on the team with Waz, and I think the two of them will just kill each other. So really, it's just going to fall down to the third person. And man, I'm really struggling to think who that would be. You know what? I'll go. I don't know him, but I'm gonna just stick with you two. I'll go with Troops as well.
Yeah, I mean, I would pay to see that. I mean, we might have to actually try that this summer.
I think also, if Craig's got to be one that you could.
Yeah, I was gonna say Craig would be a good one too.
Mentally get in. I think you could mentally get into him. You know what I mean? And he could go all. Once
his phone just stops working, he'll just plummet and crash.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's going to be about it. A quick apology for the camera work the second half of the pod. For some reason that thing happened again where only I had to physically and manually control it, and I didn't do a great job of it. So if you had to look at me just picking my teeth while other people were talking, you're welcome. Thanks to the chat for coming in. Mike Hernandez, thanks for the super chat. Goes to Gooners versus Cancer, Becca Rhodes. Sebi's in here, 95 Winston, Ryan Fletcher, Arsenal Fan Circle channel, Matt Walker, Alonzo Spencer, Don One, who's come in and not necessarily said things I agree with, but I appreciate you joining us. John Snow, has nothing to do now that show is over, that stupid show. And Nilesh, everyone, Ryan Koss, everybody else that joined us today, appreciate it. Had a great time. Lee, thanks for spending 25 minutes with us.
No problems, not at all. Sorry I couldn't get in here earlier, So.
No, that's all good. You warned me. Andy, it's always lovely to see your face. It's even lovelier not to, but couple of weeks I will be sneaking down into your basement.
I was about to say, where are you staying now that all these rude comments are coming in?
Staying in your basement.
Yeah. So what you got? What's the on the American side? Are they going to be buying all the shirts and everything like that? What's the deal over in America?
Yeah, they'll be buying everything. It's weird because they've released the shirts at Dick's Sporting Goods at multiple stores across the country early. But yeah, they'll all be buying the shirts, and I'm sure Adidas will have everything set up throughout the summer.
If anybody's looking for protests, I mean, you might hear one thing or another, but it's unlikely, and it is what it is. It's unlikely to be a negative atmosphere this summer when they come.
I will tell you this though, Kroenke has no love in Denver.
Yeah, so when you got your games, because obviously I won't be out there, but you guys will be. You feel that it'll all be positive over there?
Yeah, in Denver specifically, it won't be a Kroenke happy city because they dislike him here for not just Arsenal but everything else. But yeah, I think it's going to be positive. I think for a lot of the Arsenal supporters, it's the first time they get to see Arsenal. So this will be, maybe we should do a protest against the "What do you think of Tottenham" chant, because that's all the Americans seem to know, and so that's all they sing the whole match. So maybe
in 2016, I actually started feeling, getting angry when I started, because everyone wanted to be the one that started that chant. In 2014, it was fun. 2016, it was just.
But I think it'll be positively, just because it's the first time most of these people are going to get to see Arsenal, and they want to enjoy it, and not get caught up in all that. But I think you said it the other day. If by the summer, by the tour, if they haven't put people on the squad, new players, then I'm going to get frustrated. I'm going to be
if they want the narrative of the hubbub at the pubs and in the parking lot to be about what we weren't doing instead of what we are doing. Then by all means keep doing what they're doing. But I have a feeling they're not going to want that narrative on the tour. They're going to.
What you guys want to do is when you're out there, you want to just go around interviewing a few Americans so you can sort of get some sort of feedback what the atmosphere is like over there.
Your lot's going to be doing that plenty. You'll probably see more interviews with me and Robbie and Troops for.
Yeah, but you do want to get because you want to gauge it from a English fan that goes to games. You want to gauge what the international fan, should I say that? What they're feeling as well, because it's without no disrespect to what I'm saying is that you view it differently to us. You know what I mean? You're still getting up at silly o'clock and doing all that sort of stuff, but. It'd be very interesting to see, what the feelings are from the overseas fans, because they are important. And
man's giving us podcast advice.
No,
what do we think about that?
I'm very interested to see what the foreign fan feels about Arsenal Football Club. I really do. I'm really interested in it, So, and if they feel the same frustrations that I do and fellow Arsenal fans.
You're talking to a foreign fan right now. You just never asked me how I feel. So, all right, no, that's a good point. We will be putting a lot of content together over the summer. Definitely some in-person content with Andy and I together, or Andy and me together, which should be fun for one of us. But in general, it's going to be an interesting summer, one way or the other. Looking forward to finding out what happens. Thank you to our listeners, to our users, to our beloved Becca. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you soon. And please visit GoonersVersusCancer.com. Soon you will be able to bid thousands and thousands of pounds on getting Lee Judges to wish you a Merry Hanukkah and pronounce all the people in the Bible's names incorrectly, and it'll be fun. So with that said, have a great week, fellas. Enjoy the kit launch. We'll be looking forward to hearing how Turkish's protest goes, and then how his trip to Rome goes, because we're all on Tinder hooks waiting for that. All right, have a great week, guys. Come on, you Gooners.